Hi and welcome to the Vsble video podcast. My name is Lado Alexi. I'm the founder of Vsble, and my today's guest is photographer, artist, and film director Seb Janiak. Meet Seb Janiak, a true pioneer of digital photography. His innovative techniques earned him fame in cinema and recognition from film directors George Lucas, among others. In the 90s and 2000s, he became not only an iconic photographer, but an acclaimed music video director working with legendary artists like Daft Punk, Janet Jackson, Method Man, and Robbie Williams. Never settling, he continuously evolves his art, always striving for artistic growth.
All right. Hello, Lado.
Hi, Zeb. Hi and welcome. Thank you for your time. Before we start, I wanted to say that I find your career very interesting and fascinating because despite the fact that you are working with major fashion labels and shooting videos for legendary bands like Daft Punk, Method Man, Janet Jackson, many, many more, you constantly were trying out new techniques, new styles, and never settled for one thing and stepped out of your comfort zone, which many people in this industry don't do. So they stick with their style, with a successful style, and do it over and over again until it becomes completely boring. So am I right with this assumption about you?
Yeah, true. I'm a very curious. I'm a very curious artist. I always like to search. I I admire photographers who have a style and they can explore this style during the whole life, and career, like Peter Lindbergh or those great master of photography. But for me, I never been able to do that.
Yeah, I think curiosity is a hard thing to switch off. So first things first, I wanted to ask you about how did you find your interest for photography? What ignited your interest for photography? Because a lot of people come from an artistic background, or they have been influenced by relatives or some events. So I was wondering what was the thing that sparked your interest and passion for the photography?
For me, it started differently because my father was a captain. He was a flight captain, so he was not an artist. Actually, I was the first artist in my whole family. So it was very difficult to push to convince everybody. It could be interesting to do that for me. When I was young, I was already very talented in drawing. I was drawing a lot, and I have this gift. But I realized I was not so good to draw character. I was good to draw analytic drawing. I was very good in to reproduce any kind of object, uh, architecture, uh, landscape. But the character, I was not very good for that. And so I decided to use photography to shoot people. And and but my parents didn't want me to be an artist. I mean, without studying.
Yeah.
So I started studying in art school when I was 19, and but it was very boring for me because I was already drawing since many years. Since I was 10 years old, I was drawing. So it was it was interesting but boring at the same time. And my luck is I after 6 months of school, I was able to join a company. We just got the first graphic computer in France. We are talking about the year 1986. It's a long time ago, and at that time it was only one graphic computer in France, and I was able to have access to this computer. And so during the day I was going to school, during the night I was learning this new machine, and after a few months they give me the job at this company, and so I quit the school, and I start to work as a graphist, a computer graphist, and
So your parents were finally happy you have a steady job.
I lied to my parents at the beginning. I didn't told them I was not going to art school. So it was very exciting at the same time. But and the good thing is in right away I start to work on post production because at that time the graphic computer was connected to a video post production center. So I was working for music video, for commercial. So I discovered this whole new world of advertising and music video. And after a while, I decided I will do that. It was very interesting for me. And this computer, the name of this computer was the Paint Box, and this Paint Box was connected to a camera to digitalize documents. But the camera was fixed on a vertical tripod. And one night I thought I could use this system to capture portrait with the computer. You know, I was freezing the video frame, and I was able to use it as a photo camera. So I decided I went to a model agency. I showed them my first test, and they start to give me professional models, and I start very. It was in 1987, and I did my first exhibition of fashion portraits made in video. It was made in video, but used as photography, and not a video, not live video. And this exhibition was a big success. And I met Philip Stark. He was a great designer, and Philip he gave me my first job, and I start to shoot with a prototype of light and object he was designing, and I was able to retouch it also to clean the prototype, to erase some some hole or scratch. And I start like that, and after that, this process. Uh, how I could explain that? After that, it was very difficult to convince clients and agencies. This process could was very interesting because I was the first one, so it was very difficult to convince everybody. And around my 25 years old, I have decided I will be a movie director. Photography was not my first choice. I really want to write screenplay and direct movie. So at that time I had a screenplay already wrote, but it was a little bit a fantastic short movie, a little bit science fiction. But for me to because I was totally unknown. So to convince the producer, I thought it would be a good idea to illustrate the vision I have of the city where the action will start. And so I got the idea to shoot different elements separately, and to use the paint box to edit each element, to cut and to create a new picture with it. And I create the first techniques of digital matte painting. Matte painting is a technique used in Hollywood in the movie business to create landscape or well, which not exist. But at that time the matte painting was paint. And it was a very long process. It took 1 month to create a matte painting, you know. In Star Wars or Indiana Jones, all those movies use a lot of matte painting. So, but with my techniques, it took me only 1 day. So, and it was, because I use only photographic element, it was much more realistic. So I start to create few pictures of the street of Paris, but completely destroyed, very dark.
And have you patented your fast
And
matter painting method, or is it something you never really cared about doing?
but it's difficult to protect a technique, it costs a lot. So I decided, I thought I'm an artist. I'm not going to make a business with that. I prefer to stay artist. So I didn't care. So I start to promote start to meet from producer with my photos, and the producer was very amazed by the quality of my photos. So he talked to a journalist who saw the photo, and in 1 month, the few photos I made for this project became so famous in the press magazine. They got published everywhere in the world because it was totally new. So I became very famous for those photography. But and my movie project never never died. So I thought, okay, I have success in photography, so I'm going to follow the wind, and I decide to become a photographer, and I start to make portraits of people in using this weird background. So I made few campaigns for Thierry Mugler. I made many album cover for in music business, and slowly I became a professional photographer, and I was the first digital photographer, because at that time everybody was using argentics photography. So at that time, digital photography was really criticized. I have to fight a lot too. I got success, but
Yes.
yeah, it was half success and half fight, because everybody was very scared about this new techniques. People say it's not photography, blah blah blah. No, it's the same story when the CD in music arrived, and people say we never compete the vinyl quality, blah blah blah. But at the end, the digital won. And the vinyl is still existing, because uh, people love the vinyl too, so, because it's different. It's a different sound, and it's the same for photography. Today you have digital and argentic. A lot of photographers still use argentic. So for me, it's not a problem. Everybody have the right to do what he wants.
You spoke about your encounter with Philip Stark and how he gave you the first job and later the one person who distributed your photography while you were working on the movie. So the photography became really famous. Do you think that such encounters with people who recognize talent, but also luck, being in the right time and right place, is an important mix in addition to hard work in every artist's life to move to next step or towards success?
You're right. I was very lucky, but lucky is not enough. Yeah, I worked a lot. I worked day and night to provoke this luck,
I
and
mean, more in
also,
the sense that chances are higher you will meet those people who support you and help you along the way. The more you do and the more you are into your art. So for some it may appear as luck that finds ones that are trying, doing and daring, but chances are simply higher you have luck if you do more.
of course, you're right. Yeah, yeah, totally. No, I think it's a question of also to I never give up to move forward, and even if I start to got a little success, I knew it was not enough. I had to go further in my art, in my research. So, but I had no money, so I have to convince Kodak. I have to convince Pentax. I show them the few picture I made, and everybody had me. They gave me equipment. They give me their papers, films, wall films, and I got because my idea was to make a world tour, to travel around the world, to shoot in a very big quality. So I had a middle format Pentax. It's like a big frame camera, and I decided to shoot a lot of material everywhere. So I choose different city around the world, and I start to shoot different street, perspective, different walls, different surface, different landscape, different. I shot a lot of things, and after I came back to Paris, I developed all the film, and I scan different elements of each, and I compose with this big library of image. I was able to create a lot of new photos. And
So you had to go through all
yeah,
these films and scan everything manually.
keep in mind at that moment the digital camera didn't exist yet. I was shooting in argentic, and I was using a scanner to digitalize the slide, and after I was able to import it in the computer and work on it. So it was a long process, with a lot of equipment, but and the company who have this equipment, they were so amazed by my first photography that they let me use this equipment for free at night. So I was working at night all time, try to work on my idea. And after that, and in 91, I was able to show my first exhibition of digital matte painting. It was the name of this exhibition was Uchrony. Uchrony in English, is it correct for you? Uchrony means it's a different future. It's a parallel future. And I show an exhibition. The exhibition was shown a lot of view of Paris, but totally destroy. It's like today you have a lot of film like that, a lot of movie like that, apocalyptic future and the world. But at my time, it was really rare, And so this exhibition works a lot. I got a lot of success, and I start to work more and more in fashion and in music.
And when did you felt, okay, I made it? Like you had realized that you are successful and that your career is really taking off? Was there such a moment, maybe a specific photo shoot, collaboration with a specific artist?
The good thing is when you're young, you're very naive, and you don't think about that. You just do the things, and you don't know what will happen in the day after, So I didn't have any plan. I was following the mood and all the I met a lot of people, so it was very interesting for me to discover this new world of advertising, of fashion, of music business. I met a lot of artists. So it came very, day after day, I built it, it started to build, but I never planned anything because it was not my purpose. And so after I focused more, after I got more and more requests in fashion and in music, but keep in mind, my first dream was to be a director, a movie director. So doing an album cover, I thought I could make music video too, and so I started to propose to the record company a package. I was the first artist who was able to propose to make the photography of the album cover and the music video.
Which is
So
now
it
very
was,
popular or became again
and
popular?
today it's very popular. Today everybody doing that today, but at that time I was the first one, and because most of the photographer was not director, and most of the director was not photographer, so it was very the gold age for me because I got I made the Daft Punk, I met Janet Jackson, I work with so many artists,
And how did the music collaboration happen? Did you approach the artists or did they approach you?
Most of them approached me, and so it was much easier for me. They approached me and they asked me to if I was interested to collaborate with them, and of course I said yes. And also I had a production company. After I create my own production company, I had few agents. I have an agent in France, an agent in New York. So everybody was also, I have a lot of people helping me after. And so it was a very interesting period, but very quick. A lot of artists arrive on the market using the same techniques as me after, because I opened the way, but after a lot of artists join the same technique as I was doing, and very quick after, there's all the big brand like Canon and Nikon, they start to release the first digital camera. So the whole process became more and more easier to use, easier to practice, and cheaper. I think the most important thing is the ID.
Yes,
You
of course.
need to have an ID first, and your idea must control the technique. For an example, when Photoshop arrived in much later after the paint box, I it was so much effect, blah blah blah, so much things inside, and it was very boring for me. I mean, for me, I'm a photographer, so I want to keep only the techniques that belong to photography. So uh, I study the master of photography, and those master of photography. I'm talking about Baldus, the photographer and we're talking about the year of 1885 or 1887. The ancient time, and you got few photographers who explore what we can do with photography and a photographic camera. So they use only double exposure, they use cutting, and that's all, And I decide I will use Photoshop only with those techniques, cutting and and works on exposure and color maybe, but that's all. So I'm using only 3 buttons in Photoshop.
Yeah,
I totally I totally reduce the amount of option, because I don't need all those thousands of option and effect. It's too much distracting, and you lose your ID. Your original ID could be lost. So for me, it's important to follow your ID, and to don't let your mind be distracted by free effect. It's and the other problem is everybody have access to those effects. So at the end, everybody is doing the same image. It's look Photoshop, and in my work, you cannot tell it's going through Photoshop or Paintbox. It's only photography. I try to for me it's important the techniques have to be totally transparent. I don't want people to see the techniques in the photo. I want just them
yes,
to see a photography with the
true.
emotion and the story behind, but I don't want them to see a special effect, or to see a Photoshop effect. For me, it's not interesting. It's too common. For me, it's everything is a complementary. You know, to when I was working with Supreme NTM, my idea was only to shoot with no effects. It was a real story with a real, everything was made in direct with no post-production. But only one video I used post-production, but the first one. But after that, I use only live shot, and with a real set, and because I need to go through this to learn how to work with reality without post-production, because it was, for me it's important to feed my soul and my creativity with every kind of experience. This is why I'm always curious, always try new concept, new idea. I want to feed, I'm like an IA, I need a lot of feed. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I need to a lot of things to, yeah. And but we will talk about AI later. But so this is why I'm always curious. You know, I really need for me to learn and understand all kind of situation, all kind of uh, school teaching, all kind of.
I
So
was wondering, like, what made you leave your successful commercial career as a photographer and director? Was it like you completed all the challenges and get bored, so you wanted to find out something new, try new things?
yeah, exactly. I never want to freeze, you know, this knowledge and say, okay, now I like that. I'm going to do that all my life. You know, I I it's not I don't criticize. It's just I am like that. You know, I have no choice. I need all. I'm always hungry. I need always to discover new things, and so sometimes it's very difficult for me because I feel tired
Mm. Yeah.
because I can never relax, you know, or enjoy a process or a style I discover. I always need to push forward to explore. So it's very, yeah, I feel tired sometimes, but it doesn't matter because when I don't, for example, if I am too tired in photography, I can make videos. If I am tired in videos, I can play music because I love playing music. I compose a lot of tracks and so I always, but I never do nothing. I always, I need to always to do something. So let's go back to the story. So after the after this long period of experimenting fashion. In fashion, I did a lot of work campaign for many for Givenchy, for L'Oreal, for Versace, for Paco Rabanne. So it was very interesting to have access to this big name, and because they have a lot of power and money to invest in creation. So with those big company and brand, I was able to experiment further, new ideas, and with more budget, with more people, with and also when you work with a big company like that, you have the luck to 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 be surrounded by a great team, great people also who can share with you their knowledge. So you're not alone, you know, you're always work with a team. So, and this was very interesting and a good experience for me because when you're a photographer, you most of the time you work alone. So doing a big campaign or doing music video, you always work with a team. So you can learn a lot of new things, and it's very interesting. It's very exciting. So I really enjoy this period. But after a while, I thought I lost my point. I lost the direction, the first my first goals. You know, so I decided to quit in 2010. I quit all commercial business. I quit music video. I quit commercial photography. I quit fashion. I quit everything to come back to art. I decided to say, okay, okay, now you got 15 years of fun, but now what do you want to do for yourself? I decided to search inside me what I have in my soul, in my heart to express, you know. And I didn't want to follow the mood of you know of the business. Yeah, for me it was I need it, you know. To I felt I will lose my soul if I was still working in this business, in those business. You win a lot of money, but you lose your soul slowly, you know, because the client. requests sometimes are not so artistic, they are boring. But you accept because you have a lot of money to win, so you accept. But slowly, you start to lose your identity, your artist identity. So for me, was very salvator to quit. And so at that moment, I thought, okay, I was very fascinating by the spirituality and the science. So I thought, okay, maybe I could find a way to explore spirituality and science with photography. This is why I decided to focus on all the invisible things who shape our visible world. Because our visible world is existing because you have a lot of invisible things who are in action. An example, the gravity. Gravity is invisible. The magnetic field is invisible. The photon who are creating the light are invisible. So a lot of things are invisible, but they are around us every day, and everything we are working with are possible because of those invisible force. You know, the computer, the iPhone, everything will never been able to exist without a magnetic field, without a lot of things like that. So, but how to make visible invisible things? No, it was my new goal, my new challenge. So I decided to. I spent 5 6 years to work on different photographic series to explore those thematic.
So the curiosity is like a constant driver for you throughout your life, and you're like like a modern photography Don Quixote, exploring
Yeah,
always new paths and new regions
yeah.
of art in the search of beauty and new ways of expressing
I'm
yourself.
very lucky to have this feeling to have to since I'm a young child. I always felt something was behind the reality. I always knew the reality was not real. I don't know how to say that in English, but
No, I totally understand you. When there's another layer of reality.
yeah, there is many layer behind who are made this reality possible. But the reality is not the end. I always knew that, So and but I never show that to people. I always kept that for me. So in 2010, I think it's time to show what you think, and to take risk and to explore those worlds, even if our society today is very materialistic. So I thought it was a good idea to bring a little bit of spirituality in art, even if it's not trendy, if it's not. I didn't got success at all, huh? But it feed me a lot. I was very happy to doing this with this work. And today, I think I will follow this guide until the end of my life. I want to explore the invisible through art.
You have an interesting artwork called Apocalypse, and it is obviously inspired by the Dutch Renaissance painter Hieronymus Bosch. And it is quite a violent painting depicting, people in heaven, hell, and on earth,
Yeah.
like in reality. So my question is, why did this painting inspire you? And do you see some parallels in today's world and this medieval vivid depiction of how people perceived hell
No,
and heaven?
I have two faiths, like everybody. I have so my spiritual faith side is I already talk about it, but because of my sensibility, and I'm very sensitive, and this world is very violent, and our society is very violent, and I am always shocked, and every day I discover or horrible things, or the mentality is, everything is very weird today. It's like the world is totally upside down. The good thing is been looking down or judged down, and the bad thing is being pushing up, and everybody say it's great, and it's very scary. It's totally upside down. Our world today is totally upside down, and so these feelings create a lot of anger inside me, a lot of frustration. And so I decided to create this series of triptych inspired by Jerome Bosch, to explore, to express this violence I have inside me, and the triptych of Jerome Bosch was already at that time in 1500, 500 years ago. This triptych called Le Jardin des Délices, the Garden of Light, the Garden of Delight. And this painting, it's supposed to be a request from a rich guy. He asked Jerome Bosch to paint this triptych to give to the wedding of his daughter. It was a gift for the wedding of his daughter, and Jerome Bosch decided to create a painting who will show the temptation of the society at that time for this young couple. It's like a warning, be careful, the world is full of temptation. You have to stay humble. You have to follow the God, or you will go to hell. So this is why the triptych is articulate with, you have the Eden, like the paradise, you have the earth, and you have the hell. So I kept this concept, but I decided to describe our society with the same concept. So I create five. It take 1 year to make one triptych. So I spent almost 4 years to create the five triptych about our society, about the consumering society.
Are those artworks currently exhibited, or are they all sold already?
I sold 2 already, and one is in a gallery right now, and then the other one I'm waiting. I never got the opportunity to make a show with the 5 triptych yet. I will dream about it, but right now I didn't got the opportunity. The first triptych was about our consumering society. The second triptych was about the apocalypse of we will come back. in a few days, people say it will come back in 2040, because this apocalypse vision is built on a comet. On a comet, we will come back to Earth in 15 years. So the third triptych was a command from a lawyer. He ordered me. He requested me to create a triptych about justice. So I decided to illustrate all the big justice affair we got in France the last 50 years. It's a big mess of famous trials, justice trials, and this one was very funny to make.
What is the technique behind it? Is it a combination of photography and painting?
I create the background with my photography, and after I stole many characters on Google, and but I cut them. For example, I will take the body of one character and I will replace the head by a famous guy or politician or or Bill Gates or whatever. And I recreate a new character like that. And after I have created all these stories, I bring them back in the frame. So it takes a lot of time to make the composition, to tell a story, because it's always about stories. So it's a very long process. And at the end, when I'm accomplish the whole composition and the work, and the job, I repaint on it. I digitally repaint on it, and it's always an homage to Jérôme Bosch. I decided last year I produce big from the each triptych. I made big posters, like 4 meters wide posters, and with a bunch of friends, we put it on a wall in the street of Paris. I just stick it on some wall without authorization. It was totally, it was, and so I got some problem with the police. The police came there because in each painting you have, it's very vulgar. It's very aggressive. It's I'm talking about President Macron, Donald Trump. Everybody are in the painting. Everybody's famous. They are in the painting. So of course I could get 500 trial against me, but I don't care because I think art is very need to be free. You cannot. I don't want to be to feel censored. I don't like censorship. I think an artist is free to tell what he wants, and I tell the truth. I never invented anything. I just reproduce a true story. You can find in a newspaper.
Yeah, I believe it's universal for photography and art in general that it must evoke some kind of feeling, because otherwise it's irrelevant, and you cannot please everyone always, so there will be always someone offended by something. So I think the artist should not think about it and just do his art.
But the last two triptych I made was about a big pharma, the business of the health. This one is I got a lot of reaction in the street. People was really mad because they're scared, because they want to believe those big companies, but if you tell them those big companies are making only money and they don't give about your health, they get scared. And it's a very taboo subject. You're today on Twitter or on YouTube, you cannot criticize anything about vaccine, about COVID. Your account been delayed right away. So we are not anymore in a democracy. This is very scary. You cannot express yourself on those subjects. So the power of those big companies are very, it's terrifying me.
So while your recent work suggests that you left the reality behind yourself and only meditate, it looks like you're still very sensitive and feel the urge to express yourself and comment what happens in society, even if the opinion is not very popular or en vogue.
We are human. We are humans. We are angels. We are humans. We have two sides. We have the dark side and the lights and the bright side. I will never try to say I'm only a spiritual guy, full of love. It's not true. I am a spiritual guy, but also I am a guy who want to fight, and who want to fight, against stupidity and lies, because those people the society today lie too much. We are surrounded by lies every day, and but it's scary to find the truth. You need a lot of courage, and most of the people, they don't want to hear that. You know, they want to stay in their smooth world. People have so much problem already to solve every day, you know. So if you add more problems on their lives, they got scared. It's a normal reaction. So
Yeah.
I don't blame anybody, but
Mhm.
I think for me it's important to express my two side, you know, my two face.
I wanted to ask that from all the artists that you worked with, from all the famous artists that you met, was there someone that particularly impressed you or that you particularly liked?
They all impress me because I never work for money. When I was doing music video, I only choose artists I like and I respect. So I was very I have decided that since the beginning. I will never work because I cannot lie. I cannot be a good artist if I don't like the artist, if I don't like the song, you know. Uh, so I am very lucky. So everybody, all the artists I work with was artists I respect. I love, and I like the music. So it was always a great experience and a great collaboration because I always collaborate with them. I don't push my ideas. I listen first. I listen to them, what they want, or in which world they are, what style, what kind of art they like. We talk a lot first, you know, and we share a lot of feelings and ideas. And after that, I create my own project based on their on their vision. Yes. So uh, NTM was super interesting. I am also MC Solar also. My work with Wu Tang was super interesting too. It was totally different approach. With Janet Jackson, it was different. With Daft Punk, it was different. So it's like you asked me which is the best beach on the world.
No,
Uh,
I
every
have just an impression that when you were working on those videos at that time, everything was a little bit more original, has its own signature, and that every new video by an artist was a real happening. So since there's no MTV anymore, videos became like a byproduct and are washed out,
yeah,
boring and lack original signature, and basically became indistinguishable, lost in endless bad copying of copying
yeah,
of
yeah.
copying.
It's super boring. This is why I don't do any more music video today. It's so boring, you know.
But why do you think it is like that?
Because of the quantity. I have a different approach on that. I think when I from the 90s to 2000 2000 uh, it was a real collaboration between the artists, the artist who made the video or made the photo and the artist who made the music. It was a collaboration and mutual interest. Today, most of the artists, they only care about their image, how they look, which makeup, which hair, which style. It's only about ego. It's not anymore about sharing and respect and respect the other guy. You know, it's only about self ego, and so this is why the music video became so boring because there are no more creativity inside. You know, and also the budget came very low. The record company now, because they make produce so much videos, they cannot spend so much. Before the budget was really big and for video, and today it's very cheap. And because of that, they start to employ a lot of new young artists, you know, who don't have too much talent. Sometimes, sometimes some of them are good, or hopefully, but most of them they don't have too much talent. So everything went down. The quality of the music, the quality of the video, the quality of the artist. It's just like it's just a fast food. It's a fast food music, you know. Today, it's totally. I don't like to judge, you know. I'm not able to give a judgment on that, and I don't want, because I think each period is different. Each period have its quality and trouble. So today, yeah, we are totally submerged by image, by videos and photo. So of course, it's more and more difficult to have quality, but it's still there. You know, if you look, it takes more time to search, but you find the quality. So I think the number of good artists are still the same,
Mm.
but they are lost in the billions of other artists with no talent.
Do you think that the overwhelming amount of content flooding people's feeds contribute to the, depreciation of art? Like with algorithms deciding what's good, bad, always choosing the convenient path, that people are, thinking less and consuming more. Do you believe this degrades our taste and um, understanding of art over time and undermines, the sensibility towards art?
I think okay. Let's say when all the photographers and directors who start their career in between the 70s to 2000, let's say, they they got masters, to follow, and the school was you had master, in painting, in photography, in movie, and those masters they got through big school, high school, or to learn the it was an art, movie was art, photography was art. It was a big knowledge and love, and the quality levels were really high. So me, and people of my age, we got very lucky because we grow surrounded by big masters, and it was no social media at that time. So those master was, you can find it in the magazine, in the movie theater, but it was really small. It was very restrict, you know, restricted. So this kind of knowledge was not accessible to everybody. You have to make big school and or know the right people to have access to this knowledge and business and jobs. But today, because of the social media, from 1,000 masters in movie and photography, those masters first they disappear. They're not anymore here today, and the young generation they just enjoy the smartphone and the camera and the video. It's so easy today to make a video and a photography. It doesn't you don't need to make any effort to do it, to create a photo or a video. It takes 1 second. So this loss of effort creates this bad quality level, you know, because if you don't make any effort, of course the quality will be bad because you're not original. You're doing the same like everybody, like the others. You're not unique at all. So today we're totally submerged by this billions of videos and photography being published every second on Earth, and so it's the approach is totally different, and these billions of people, they have a power because they are a lot. They have a big power, and when they like a photo, when you got 10,000, 1 million of like on your one photo, it's a big power. And the brand, they're following this because they don't want to take risks. Because those young people and those young generation, they are the target of all those brands. So to keep communicate with those young generation, you have to follow their taste. The the quality came down because of the quantity, and also those young generation, they don't give a fuck about the old masters, and they are, and at the same time they are right to do it. I like the idea to say fuck it, I like that too. It's so this is why I don't judge. I don't judge anything. I'm just look at it and try to understand it. But there nobody have the monopoly of the truth, and you know what I mean?
No, of course, by no means, we do not want to claim the truth for us. I just want to know if you think that one day people will be fed up by the pace of things, by the AI, and that the old school handcrafted art will have a renaissance again and maybe becomes even more valuable than in the past.
I'm very optimistic. I'm very optimistic because I think today it's a lot of to digest, but very soon people will finish the digestion, and after that, some good thing will pop up, and it's already happened. Today, you have a lot of new artists who are very interesting. They don't know a clue about all the old master and the traditional rules, but they are still they have a lot of things to tell, and so I'm very optimistic. I start to use AI. I think it's super interesting, and it's your future. You cannot stop it, so you have to deal with it or die. And but it's the same. It's the same story. Right now, it's an invasion of IA photo everywhere. Bad. Most of them are bad ones, but it's not important. It's just a process. People now they're discovering, they're learning. They have to digest. Digestion is very important. Because if you don't, you need to first you discover things you learned. You start to feed your brain with this new knowledge, but after you have to digest it by your own, and give it back with your own style, with your own way to see things. So, but the digestion could take a lot of time to before send it back with your own style. So right now, I'm in a process. I, I am older than the young artist, so I have a different view of it, of course. The only thing I can tell is about IA is, if you don't have any, it's the same story. If you don't have your own ID, you could be lost very quick because the IA will take the control of your image. But if you have a lot of things to tell, if you are a real artist and you have many ideas and you want to follow these ideas and don't get lost in the middle of the way of the process, you will succeed. You will take control of the IA and create something who will look exactly uh, uh, of what you have in mind. But the problem is today a lot of people use the IA and have fun with it. They just discover new things. They just let the IA propose a lot of ideas, but so it's not personal at all. You know, it's even if your prompt is very original, the IA take control on it. So for me, the big challenge is to take control of that and to keep it personal. You know, for me, it's a tool. It's just a tool, an amazing tool. So because IA, the IA don't have any conscience. It's just an algorithm. You don't have nobody know even. But it's a big subject. Today, nobody know what is conscience. We still don't know what is a conscience. The materialistic people, they say it's the conscience is being created by brain, but it's totally wrong. The latest research and discoveries it shows the conscience is received by the brain. So we don't even know what is conscience. So, so there is no way an IA could be conscious one day, soon. Not now, for sure. Maybe in 50 years or 100 years, but not now. So today it's just a tool, you know. So if your conscience don't take control of the tool, your work will look like shit. But it could be nice, but it's have nothing unique or personal or original. Even if it look amazing, the problem is everybody can copy your prompt and make the same image amazing 1 hour after. So it's for me, it's important to take the control, and to take the control is very difficult today because the IA is very complicated, very sophisticated. You need a lot of tools around the IA to control it, but it's it's no way you can stop it. All the brands today are looking for IA studio who can be able to create what they have in mind. IA could also in video, in film. For example, a big move, a big, a big, a blockbuster, an American blockbuster, like all the Marvel movie. They use 500 graphists for during 3 years to create all the post-production effect. In 10 years, they will only employ 50 people because of the IA. The IA will replace the 450 other graphists. It's unstoppable. It will happen.
So what you
And
mean is that many professions, like during industrialization, will disappear and others will appear,
yeah,
right?
it's like that. The world have always been like that before, and it's you have to accept it and use it.
What would you say to young people who are now living in the, uncertainty of what craft will remain and what will be replaced with AI within, shortest time? Because like 40 years ago, you could, you knew that if you study photography, you will be photographer in 10 years. If you study, cinema, you will be making movies in 10 years. So now it's a bit different. So what would you say to those young people that have these fears?
First, I will tell no, they don't worry, don't worry because when I shoot, when you make a portrait of a real person, the IA will never be able to do that. If I want to make a portrait of the Daft Punk or of Beyonce or any kind of artist today, the IA cannot replace that, because when you shoot somebody, you shoot his soul, his attitude,
Yes.
it's only exists
Mm.
at this moment on Earth, and this cannot be replaced. The contact you have with the person you're shooting, the 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 communication you have with him, it will change the photo. And we give you new ideas at the moment when you're shooting. You will get a new inspiration because you share.
Yes, of course.
You talk with the artist, you listen to them, you share experience and point of view. So this is totally impossible to imagine because it's happening only at the present time you're doing the photo.
Yeah.
So this part of the creation is totally unique. And when you're shooting fashion, for example, you have the sun, you have the clouds arrive and block the sun. Suddenly, the light on the set change, the wind arrives, the dress start to flow, and those things are totally uncontrol. You cannot control it. So it's like the magic of the present moment. When you're shooting. So
Mm.
those kind of magic things, you can fake it with the IA and tell the IA, okay, the clouds arrive, the wind arrive, the models lost her balance and she moves that way. But if you don't have in your mind the experience of that, You cannot imagine it.
Yeah.
You know, so I think experience on real life is always needed to create amazing IA creation. You can feed the IA with whatever you want, but the IA need a human first. You know, IA cannot create image without human. So the human have a soul, the human have a brain. So it's, for me, it's not a problem. It's just a question of time, and but don't be scared. For me, it's super exciting. It's an amazing tools. You know, it's an amazing tools with infinity um, results, and but because it's fed by human, so I don't see the problem. You know what I mean? It's always a human behind. It's just a tool.
Do you think also that the more you know and the more you read, see, watch, that the less you dare, and that sometimes, you know, when you have too much knowledge, you lack a little bit of naivety, and so that the new generation has maybe it more difficult because they see so much and they might dare less?
No, I think because each human have his own story, his own childhood, his own past, and this will alterate his creation. It will modify his creation. So I still believe. I told you I'm very optimistic. I think each generation will bring new talent. We will use tools totally differently than us. We will bring a different point of view. So I don't want to be the stupid old guy who judge the young one. You know, it's totally ridiculous. You know, so I learned to respect each generation. Each generation have a good things to bring. The problem is not that. The problem is today everybody became a product. We became products. The brand, Facebook, Instagram, Google, Apple, they just look at us as a product, as a or slave. You can choose slave or product, but so we are losing our freedom for sure. We are losing a lot of freedom.
I wanted to ask you about your Lost Paradise work, which like depicts the end of the world where humans no longer exist due to a climate catastrophe or disaster that happens. But to me, the images don't look really tragic. They look more like a very peaceful, calm, and nice. So is it like, in your point of view, is it like not a big drama if something like that happens because the Earth gonna be like liberated from the humans finally and will find its peace? Is it like your view of things?
I'm very amazed by the way the people talk about ecology. You know, ecology is always about protect the earth, protect the nature, blah blah blah. It's bullshit. It's very hypocrite. You know, hypocrite. Because the real problem is the human. The earth will always be there, you know, and the nature will rebuild in a few thousand years. But the human, no, the human can disappear very quick, you know. So it's very hypocrite to say, yeah, we have to protect the nature. No, you should protect the human first, you know. Nature don't need you, you know. Even if you blow up 1,000 atomic bomb, the nature will come back a few thousand years after, you know. It's just a different time. For example, when I start my first series about Ecology, you know, Ecology was this theory about the city will look destroyed and apocalyptic. I made this to show to the people a civilization is just a little pop up. It's like a scratch, you know, when you scratch
Yes.
that. If you compare a civilization to a geological time, it's just like that, you know. Because we're talking about millions of years when we talk about the Earth story, you know. So 2000 years is nothing. And like, so who cares, you know?
So as we are now almost at the end of the interview, I had one last question for you. And like in a lot of sci-fi movies, like Blade Runner or Star Wars, there is always a certain kind of presence of some kind of spirituality, like the Force in Star Wars, or there are some signs of a lost religion in Blade Runner, and the notion of a larger, than life presence. So do you think that after exploring all the technological delights of AI, virtual reality, and so on, people will come back to spirituality? Like even now, many people are, trying out spiritual healing, meditation, and so on. So what is your opinion?
Listen, a human being is fundamental spiritual being. Human is fundamentally spiritual. But America, when they create the society of consumering, the consumering society in the 60s or the 50s, they want to invade the whole earth with this concept of buying things and be happy with material things. It's an American concept, and they spread it all around the world, and they manipulate each country to accept these new concepts to make more money, you know. In France, we got the revolution of May '68. It's a revolution to convince people they could be free if they turn back to the religion, to the spiritual, you know, and be happy only with objects and buy new car, buy new anything you can buy. And today, the society is trying to convince each human that he could be happy with this buying things every day, you know. But the problem is when you do that, you get away from your spiritual side, and when you lose your spiritual side, you got nothing. You become nothing. You're just a slave or a product used by those powerful company, and so you always be frustrated. You know, if you follow those new god of consumering, you always be you will always be sad and frustrated because you will never get enough. And so it's not the good way. Only the spiritual can feed you and make you feel happy and satisfied, you know. And you don't, but it's the enemy. The religion are the enemy of those big company, because a religious guy or a spiritual guy, he don't need all those products, because you know that but so it's an enemy, because most of the people who get lost, most they can buy things to feel better. And so it's a trick. It's really a wrong way, and our civilization are going inside on the wall right now, because nobody want to stop that, because we decided, I'm talking about France, we decided 50 years ago to destroy the religion, because people was tired about the power of the church. I can understand that. Me too. I was like that when I was young. I would say, fuck the church, fuck the religion. I want to do what I want. I want to be free, you know. But after a while, I realized it was not the right way, because I will end always sad and frustrated. So I think the spiritual will come back one day, but it's a fight between the spiritual and the materialism. And the materialism have a lot of power today, because the GAFA and all the big multinational, they have so much power to convince you to buy those stupid things, you know. And I think advertising is part of the problem. The advertising is bad. Because today we say, okay, we should protect the nature. We have to buy less. We have to make less pollution. But on the same time, they project thousands of commercial every 10 minutes on TV to buy new products. So it cannot work, you know. First, we should stop the advertising business, and like that, we will buy less things, and we will get the chance to Earth and to human to have a better living in the future. But we don't do that. Nobody will do that. So we are good. So for me, it's the beginning of the end, because we know we have less and less and less. Uh, 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 um, I don't know to say that in English. You know, to build a car, les matières premières, the iron, the copper, the iridium, all those things we need to build the cars and iPhone and computer and all kind of objects, and we don't have any too much today on Earth. This is why we hope to find it on Mars or on asteroid. We know the people now, they say they want to catch an asteroid to take all the mineral and inside to be able to keep this crazy uh, business of making more products every day. And so it's comment dire en français, on dit on va droit dans le mur. And so everybody knows that, but nobody wants to change. Because it's normal, because okay, in Paris or in your country, we have a good living. We have access to everything. Where we live in the total luxury, you know, compared to a few billions of other people who are very poor, who don't have access to that. But those people, their dreams, is to buy a car, to buy a washing machine, to buy a TV, to grow, you know, and to they don't want to stay poor all their life, you know. They want to have. So, and we cannot tell them, no, you won't have the right to do it because you're going to destroy Earth. So it's not fair. So this problem is very complicated, you know. So the only way to solve this major problem is to come back to spiritual.
Seb, we're almost at the end of the interview, and I wanted to say that it was really interesting and refreshing talking to you, as often people who are successful in this industry are very, very cautious about what they say and their opinions. And it seems you have the courage to express your opinion and make your point. So maybe moving away from commercial work into an artistic space where you are free and where you can express yourself as you want was a good and right thing to do.
The price to pay is very, very high.
Yeah.
Because the contemporary art today is very empty. You know, the contemporary art today explore only the surface of things. It's very superficial. It's only for the ego, or for the narcissism, or the selfish way to see things. The art today is not spiritual. It's super materialistic. And this is why the price for me is high, because it's difficult to show my work today, because nobody care about spiritual today. Not too much, you know. Not the people who have the money. The people who have the money, they don't care. They don't care about spiritual, and so it's a price to pay. I accept it, and it's like that, because I cannot lie to myself, and I cannot lie in my art. So I have no other choice.
Zeb, we're at the end of the interview. I really enjoyed it. It was really inspiring, and I wish you all the best with all your projects, with your movie projects. And once again, thank you very much.
We made it. You're welcome, Nado. You take care.